come to the stage. He is one half of a funny twin duo. He does comedy all over Omaha, Nebraska. This man's got a show coming up in Los Angeles. Make some noise for Jeremy Plug!
Theodric, everybody! All right. I'm Jeremy. I'm your first comic. Since this is my first time taping, I thought I'd introduce myself for the set. I'm kind of a self-deprecating comic. A lot of my jokes are focused about myself, and it's really easy to be that way when you look and act like if Michael Cera dry humped an H&M catalog. That second way was people realizing what they were thinking about, yeah. But for me, I do try and take care of myself. I wake up every day with a goal. I want to be like the idols before me. I want to be like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, or even Robin Williams. Dead. I wish I was dead. It's actually one of the first jokes I ever wrote, and I was doing that at a club in Omaha, and a guy stood in the back and screamed, "Hey, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, so have at it." So for you, that was my first suicide recommendation after a joke. And I was pissed. Because I already said that joke to family and friends, and they weren't nearly as supportive as that guy was. Anyway, that's the opening paragraph to my GoFundMe page. $5 is the opening entry fee. $10 you're on the note. $15 you pick the Sylvia Plath quote I use on that note. He did mention I'm a twin. I'm an identical twin, and as an identical twin, you really try and put the line in the sand. Be your own person, you know? He dresses up kind of formal. I'm pretty casual. He just shaved his beard. I'm growing mine out. It's a real beard. I don't... Sure, it's patchy, but once I hit 7th grade, it's gonna fill out. Yeah, he shaved his beard. I'm growing mine out. He is a theater degree. I have a future. I had a lot of dreams growing up. I wanted to be a superhero, I wanted to be a truck driver, and I wanted to meet my dad. I'm just kidding. He left when I was 8. I know who the bastard is. Actually, me and my brother, we play a little game, and that game's called When's the Last Time You Saw Dad? It's a weird, awkward silence, and I did open with killing myself, so... Just thought I'd put it in perspective. All right. Another thing about me, I guess, is I have OCD. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. And for some people, they think that means even numbers or clean rooms, but for me, I wake up every day thinking I'm a bad person. And I spend the day asking for forgiveness or doing nice acts in order to feel some sort of sense of redemption. So I'm a Catholic. And I grew up Catholic because I wanted to devote my body and my soul to a higher power that had all the answers I didn't have, which is just a fancy city talk way of saying I cried when I jacked off till I was 21. I'm 25 now. Now I just tear up a little bit. We call that holy water. Yeah, it is awful. Remember, opening with killing myself, this is where we find it's awful. I lived next to a church for a long time, and it was great. It got a little weird when I was older. It got to the point where everyone else was calling him father, and I was calling him daddy. And that's when I left the church. I still get messages from my priest to come back, just basic stuff like, hey, you up? Jesus is one of them. Saw you on Messenger, thought I'd drop you a line. This is my body, and I give it up for you. He is risen. I thirst. Put your fingers in the hole, Thomas. You know it to be true. I tried this new thing recently. I had sex. I don't recommend it. I don't know why my voice is cracked, but I think I'm becoming a real man. But I don't recommend it. I think it's because I grew up Catholic, and like there's a lot of pressure about having sex before marriage. It's like the second biggest sin there is, that and voting Democrat. So like imagine my surprise where I finally have the horizontal parent hug, and I don't explode into a... Imagine my surprise where I finally have the horizontal parent hug and I don't explode into a bunch of hellfire and a little bit of jizz. I just wish like the sex ed talk was a lot more honest, you know? Like when the priests pull us over and they give us the talk, it was like, hey, you know those little plastic toys filled with water or glitter or some of those little plastic dolphins? Put your penis in that. It's basically the same thing. It feels great, don't get me wrong. It's just not worth getting kicked out of a Chuck E. Cheese for. So like... lower that expectation. At this point, I think like having sex for me is like eating at McDonald's. I should care about what's going into my body, but screw it, this meat's going in my mouth. I've been doing comedy for about 4 years now, and I love every moment of it. There are things I kind of don't like, mostly backhanded compliments. You normally get them after an open mic. And they're basically stuff like, hey man, it's brave that you just went on stage. Or, hey man, I actually thought you were funny. Or at the end of the day, you're still my son. You know, things that sound nice but are really mean, Dad. The worst that's ever gotten for me, I was doing an open mic, and I thought I was killing it. Get off stage, and a guy grabs me and says, hey, man, this place rules. Do you know any of the real comedians? No. But I do love most of it. I think what I love most is traveling. And I think the best way to know a state is turning on their local radio. I was driving through Missouri one point, and I turned on the radio 102.5. And it was amazing because it was clearly some guy's iPod on shuffle. The lineup was What If God Is One of Us, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and Come On Eileen. It was great. And it was the disc jockey clearly didn't give a shit either. He just turned on his mic and said, all right, guys, that was your 3 o'clock rock block. That was Boulevard of Broken Dreams, followed by Come On Eileen. A lot of good memories with that one. Anyway, here's Rod Stewart. Like, what the hell was that? What type of memory was that? What do you think he did to Eileen? Did he come on Eileen? Yeah. This guy was better than that. He was better than your Opie, your Anthony's, your Todd and Tyler's, two 40-year-old men that just hate each other, and they're racing to the dirtiest joke they can think of, like coming on Eileen, I guess. But my exit was coming up, and I decided to pull over just to listen to whatever bullshit he had left to say. All right, guys, for your 4 o'clock rock block, we have Gangster's Paradise, followed by Beethoven Second. And a special treat for you guys, we have famed journalist Walter Cronkite as he breathes into a microphone and achieves his final orgasm. A lot of good memories with that one. There's a beer in Europe made with the yeast of a woman's vagina. Bring that up not just because I'm fun at parties, but I want to know how you sell a beer like that. You know, like what's its tagline? It's the perfect mix of copper and hops. They get worse, front row. It's a beer you say you drink all the time, but really only on your girlfriend's birthday. Or my personal favorite, it's the perfect beer for eating out. You guys have been a great audience. Thank you, guys.
it going for Jeremy Plum. Keep it going for Jeremy Plum.